What's the story, more than glory? What is the word, hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 4, In the Thick of It. So, one little quick note about Joy. I feel like Joy, like I said this in my last review, every time I see Joy, maybe this is just her personality. She's just not one of those happy-go-lucky kind of people. But every time I see Joy, she seems very low-key, very down, very unbothered. She acts like, I don't know if being on this show was her idea or Clifton's idea, but she kind of acts like, this might not have been number one on her list of priorities, to be on this show, but she's just going to show up for whatever reason, maybe to make Clifton happy. I don't know. So he can promote his beard oil. I don't know. But something about Joy, her spirit, it's just like she's just not feeling this. That's the impression that I get from her. And also the fact that she really doesn't want to film with everybody else. Now, she didn't go to Sherelle's workout event because she doesn't get along with Sherelle. So why would she show up? Because she hates Sherelle or whatever. So what reason would she have to show up? But Winter doesn't get along with anybody, and she still showed up. Everybody that was there except for Sherelle doesn't see her for Winter, but Winter still showed up. So I'm going to need Joy to kind of step it up a bit. Now, it's only episode 4, so I'm probably talking too prematurely about Joy. But I'm going to need her to step it up a little bit and start, immersing herself into more scenes with some of these women. But anyway, let's get started. Joy and Clifton. So Joy got the house that she wanted. So we see them at their new house because that was their plan, for them to get a home together. And the house is beautiful. It's exactly what she wanted. She wanted a home that was surrounded by nature. She wanted a pool. She got all of that. This house is really, really, really nice. I don't know if they bought it or if they rented it. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I have been fooled a lot by these reality TV people. When they get these beautiful homes, I'm thinking, wow, they really made it. They bought themselves this beautiful home. Coming to find out, it was just a rental. So, or an Airbnb or something. So I don't know if this is their home that they actually own or if they're renting, but whatever it is, it's a very nice home. So then Clifton asks her, when will she be ready to start having a family with him? And she says that, as soon as she feels like she's grounded, then she will, consider starting a family. And he asks her, well, what is it going to take for you to feel grounded? And she says it's stuff like this, the purchase of this home, etc. So I guess, pretty soon they're going to start, I don't know, having babies or something after they get married. But she says, it's stuff like this, building a home together, not building, but purchasing or renting this home together, doing things that's going to kind of solidify them as a family. So moving on from there, we see Ashley and Quick. They're talking about Alicia and her accident. And Ashley tells Quick that, look, I understand why you didn't want to tell me about Alicia's accident because you didn't want to ruin the party for me, but you still should have told me as soon as you found out. I still should have known about my best friend because the whole entire time she was wondering where the hell is my best friend, and nobody wanted to say anything. So then they start talking about Jamie and little Jamie. They agree that little Jamie is definitely calling out for help because, he reached out to his mother and said he didn't want to be here anymore. That is a definite cry for help. And Ashley, she's also has been through something very similar when she was a teenager and when she was in her 20s. So she totally understands where little Jamie is coming from. So she's trying to show the perspective from little Jamie's side, being the child in a situation where you feel like, maybe your parents are not hearing you and not understanding where you're going through. So she's kind of like giving us an idea of what little Jamie might be going through. Now, Ashley herself is going through something because she tells her husband that she's been suffering from some really bad insomnia. She says that she's only getting by on 45 minutes to an hour of sleep a day. Okay, so this insomnia is kicking her butt. She's basically surviving on a nap. And she says that she's not able to enjoy the release of her book, and she starts crying and gets really emotional because she's really going through something. I'm assuming that it's probably just the pressure of everything happening at once, dealing with her mom. And I'm pretty sure when she wrote that book, a lot was brought up to the surface that she thought that she had already handled or that she was able to suppress. But going through all the stuff that she went through throughout her life and bringing that up in her book probably sent her through an emotional roller coaster and all kinds of stuff stuff. So she's handling a lot right now. And so Quick does what he's supposed to do. He comforts her, holds her, hugs her, and tries to make her feel a little bit better. Moving on from there, we see Irena and Joy. So Irena invites Joy to some arts and craft place. And so while they're doing their arts and craft, Irena brings up Ashley's birthday party, which Joy did not attend because I think something was going on. I think that's the reason why she didn't attend. So Irena then talks about how Sherelle was telling them that Joy has blocked her husband Black. And Joy says in the confessional that Sherelle's been blocked for years. So I don't know why she's making a big deal about it now. She's blocked anything. Joy has blocked anything related to Black and the band because I guess the band had a really bad, nasty falling out. And she had mentioned this before. I think in episode 1, she talked about how there's this really bad falling out in the band that she was in with Sherelle's husband, Black. And I think it was called Mambo Sauce? I think that was the name of the band. So Irena says that Black told them that Joy was upset because, Joy was mad at Black because Black started dating Sherelle after Black was dating Joy's best friend. And Joy says, no, that's not why I was mad. I was upset because Black, who was dating my best friend, started seeing Sherelle on the side. That's why I was upset. And that to me makes a whole lot more sense than what Black was talking about. Because why would Joy be mad that her friend's ex-boyfriend was dating somebody else? It would make more sense that she was mad because her best friend's boyfriend was cheating on her best friend. And in Ashley's confessional, she talks about how she herself had a little side piece by the name of Jamie. Yes, ma'am. So Irena, not Ashley. Irena says in her confessional that when she was living with her daughter's father, her daughter Brittany, her oldest child, while she was living with him, she was seeing Jamie on the side. So Joy says that Black was messing around with Sherelle while he was still with her best friend, but that wasn't the only reason why she ended up leaving the band. Joy says that there was a lot of manipulation coming from Black, because the way he was handling the band's business, as she told us before, he was doing things that was not for the benefit of the band, but for the benefit of him. So there was a lot of manipulation. There was lack of transparency with the business operations of the band, and all of this was coming from Black. So it wasn't just Black cheating on her friend. It was just how Black was managing the band, and it really wasn't benefiting anybody else, and it was messing with her paper. So Black accused Joy of getting into it with the drummer, and that's why she left the band. And Joy was like, it was so much more than that. It was more than me having a fight with the drummer. But Joy kind of seems like she's a little bit hard to get along. But I can kind of understand. Maybe where she's coming from, how Black, I mean, we weren't there. We don't know. It's his word against hers. We would need other band members to come and basically support Joy's side or Black's side. We have no idea. But Black and Sherelle make it seem like Joy left the band for some really petty reasons. And Joy's trying to say that it wasn't nothing petty. It was very serious because it was messing with our money. And that's why I ended up leaving the band. So, okay, moving on from there. So we have Irena and Jamie, Ashley and Quick. They all go out on a double date or something. They go go-kart riding, and after they're done with the go-karts, they're sitting down having a conversation, and Quick brings up Jamie's comments about his son. Now in this particular scene, when Quick was talking about how obviously, little Jamie has got stuff going on. He's troubled about something, and that big Jamie really isn't trying to hear his son. And big Jamie is trying to minimize the emotional problems that little Jamie is going through. Big Jamie comes from the old school era where you really don't talk about or recognize mental illness. You just kind of brush it off. And the solution is just get over it. Do what you got to do. Just get over it. And he needs to kind of listen to his son and go a little bit deeper with his son's issues. So basically, Quick is trying to tell Jamie, you need to be a little bit more sensitive with how you handle your son. Now, personally, okay, I agree with what Quick was saying to Jamie. I totally agree. But I don't know. I mean, I can see how Jamie and Irena took that as quick, kind of like overstepping his boundaries as a friend, and kind of like being a little bit judgmental, especially when he said, I deal with my son a little bit differently. I'm tough with my son, but I'm also, more sensitive with my son than you are with your son. And then Big Jamie was like, well, you have a child. You're dealing with a child. So yeah, you would be a little bit more sensitive because your son's only 14. I'm dealing with a grown man. Okay, little Jamie's a grown man, and I have to set him straight because he's an adult. And I guess, Big Jamie is expecting him to be at a certain level now in his life and to have done certain things to show that he is a responsible adult, because you want your children to eventually be completely independent, because you're not going to be around all the time to rescue them and to save them and to be there for them. So when you're long gone, you want your kids to be able to thrive, not just barely survive, but to thrive without you. And he's trying to get his son to that point. Totally understandable, Big Jamie. We get it. But Quick's whole thing was, the way you're going about it is a little bit rough, and it's not landing on little Jamie at all. The way you're handling things and how you're trying to get him there, it's just not landing. So maybe you have to find a different approach. If I was Big Jamie listening to my friend tell me this, I think I might be a little bit because when it comes to your children, as a parent, you're very, very sensitive. And then when somebody is telling you, especially like a friend is telling you, you're doing things wrong, you need to change how you do things, I might take a little bit of offense to that. Now, I can take it from my mother, my father. I can take it from a therapist. I don't know if I could take it to a peer, my peer. I might have some stuff to say about how they parent their child. Okay, we're basically the same. We're both in this together. You got kids, I got kids. We're trying to do the best we can. So neither one of us is exactly better than the other. I would take advice from my parents because they've been through it. I would take advice from a therapist because they're professionals and they've studied this. I don't know if I'd be so quick to sit there and take notes and listen and nod my head in agreement when it's someone who's in the same situation that I'm in. Like we're peers. We're the same. So the Silvas think that Jamie, like I said, he's really old school. And in Irena and Jamie's confessional, they were not really feeling what Quick was trying to tell him. They did get kind of defensive, as if Quick was saying that Jamie wasn't a good father, because Irena, in her confessional, she was like, Jamie's a great dad. He's there for his children, blah, blah, blah. He's a great father. No one's taking that away from him at all. He is a great provider. And I hate it when parents think that because they can financially provide, then that makes them parent of the year. And it's like, if they're lacking anywhere else, then just get over it. It's no big deal. If I'm not as sensitive as you want me to be, if I don't listen as much as you want me to, just get over it. I provide. I put food on the table, roof over your head, and clothes on your back. So you should always bow down to me no matter what. But it takes so much more than that. Especially, when you're trying to raise these kids who were born in the 90s and the 2000s. So Jamie says, I get what he's saying, but I don't like how he worded it. So they did take offense to what Quick was telling them. Quick says that maybe Jamie is too tough. Jamie says a little Jamie is a grown man. Yeah. So, yeah, they're just not, Jamie... And when Quick was talking, I was looking at Jamie's face, and it seemed like Jamie was receiving what Quick was telling him, but in the confessional it came out a little bit different. Like he really didn't care for it. So, I hope this does not affect their relationship. And I would like for Quick to kind of step back a little bit. Sherelle. So Sherelle has a fitness event. Everybody's there except for Joy, because Sherelle and Joy don't see it for each other. So Sherelle says that she's lost over 100 pounds. Congratulations to her. Good for her. That is a huge, huge accomplishment. And she became a certified fitness trainer. So health and fitness is extremely important to her. And I love the fact that, she's still, a plus size woman, but she's healthy and she's taking her health seriously, because people just dismiss plus sized people as, oh, you don't care about your health. You don't care. But she cares, and she's out there working out, and she started this whole entire fitness organization. So, much props to Sherelle. So all the girls are there except Joy. And then when Winter arrived, Irena and Ashley completely, paid her desk, didn't even look her way when Winter walked in. So after they do the workout, Sherelle, Alicia, Ashley, and Irena, they're all huddled. I think they're all huddled together having a conversation. And Irena tells Sherelle about her encounter with Joy. So she tells her that, Joy told her that she left the band because Black was doing some shady business. Now, I know this is going to come up in next week's episode, that word shady, because when Joy was talking to Irena about why she left the band, I don't think she didn't use the word shady, but she said things to make Black appear shady. So Irena just took it to herself to come to the conclusion that Joy was saying Black was being shady. So she tells Sherelle, yeah, Joy told me that she left the band because, some shady business that your husband was doing with the band. And Sherelle was like, my husband is not like that. My husband would never do anything shady. That's not how he conducts himself. So then Ashley says in her confessional that Irena was being kind of messy. She was kind of questioning the things that Irena was doing. Like, you're taking information from this woman about what she said about this woman's husband, then you're going to that woman, to the other woman, and telling her, oh girl, guess what Joy told me about your man. And so Ashley was like, where the hell is Irena coming from with all of this messiness? Like, why is she doing this? So Sherelle says that she didn't have a problem with Joy at all. At first, she had no problem with Joy. That's why she didn't understand why Joy would block her, because she doesn't know Joy like that. But now that Irena is telling her that Joy is going around talking about how shady your husband is, Sherelle now has a problem with Joy. So after that, Winter approaches the group to say goodbye. So she says goodbye to everybody, and Alicia is standing right there. And she looks at Alicia and she goes, I don't know you. She goes, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I don't know you. So then, of course, Alicia responds, and they exchange a couple of words, Winter and Alicia, and Winter was like, but I don't know you. So Sherelle walks Winter out because it's kind of like, getting kind of heated between Alicia and Winter. So Sherelle gets in between them and she escorts Winter out. And Winter says that she doesn't have a problem with Ashley. She says, I don't have a problem with Ashley. I'm willing to start new with Ashley. This is how it always is. And, so Sherelle's like, okay, I'm going to go get Ashley so you and her can have a conversation. Now, Sherelle, I don't know if you watched last season, but Ashley is a kind of woman where I would not grab her and make her have a conversation with Winter. I don't know, Sherelle, if you saw that damn reunion from last season, but Ashley doesn't see it for Winter at all. So the fact that you would even consider bringing these two women together, you knew what you were doing. So Sherelle goes and gets Ashley. Ashley says that she doesn't really see it for Winter. She explains to Sherelle why she doesn't like Winter. She's going through all her points of why she cannot stand Winter. The stuff that Winter said on social media, the stuff that Winter said on the show, their back and forth on the internet, all this stuff. So Winter says, you can talk to me directly. I'm right here. And Ashley says, I don't want to talk to you, Winter. That's why I'm talking to her. So Winter keeps on saying, if you have something to address, you can address it with me directly. So finally, Ashley gives Winter the attention that she's been begging for. So then they start going at it head to head. So while they're getting heated, Sherelle comes in and interrupts. I'm like, girl, why are you interrupting? You knew this was going to happen. Either you knew this was going to happen, and if you didn't know, you had no business putting these two women together. Why are you interrupting? This is what you wanted. You wanted them to talk, so they're talking. So let them talk. So Winter says, as Sherelle is trying to stop them, Winter says to Sherelle, I don't need an audience. And I'm like, girl, what is going on with you? Why are you upset with Sherelle now? So she, in her confessional, Winter refers to Sherelle as a linebacker. So obviously, when they say, bad things about each other in the confessionals, because the confessionals are done, I think, after the season is done recording. So when they kind of say negative things about one another in the confessionals, you know that that season did not go well between them. So Winter accuses Ashley of constantly talking about her. Like, why are you always talking about me? Why is my name always in your mouth? And Ashley says, I don't talk about you. I don't care about you. You are nothing to me. You're the one that's constantly talking about me. Winter says that Ashley came for her first. She said, you came for me first. And she's referring to last season, the very beginning of last season, when Winter was explaining to the group how she met her husband, Kevin, and how she didn't know where he was actually living. She thought he had his own apartment, but he didn't. He was living in his parents' basement. And then Ashley had said to Winter, well, how could you marry a man and you didn't even know where he actually lived? So you really didn't even know this guy and you jump into a marriage with him. So Winter felt very judged by Ashley. And so that's how their rift started. So okay, fine, whatever. So then, they disperse or whatever. And Irena did not agree with Sherelle trying to get Ashley and Winter to talk. Okay, nobody agrees with that. So Sherelle says, you know what, you ain't got to worry about that no more. I will not try to get these women to have a conversation ever again in life. So that all ends. And I think Winter even told Sherelle, don't ever invite me to anything where Ashley's going to be at. This is a very small group, okay? So if y'all are not going to be showing up at events because someone that you don't like is there, then you might as well get off the show. So Brittany, okay, moving on. Irena's daughter, Brittany, is planning a family meeting, basically, because she wants Big Jamie and Little Jamie to resolve their issues. But she doesn't tell the other what she's actually doing. So she invites her brother, Little Jamie, over, and the brother thinks that he is going to be meeting her boyfriend. And then she also invites her parents over, but they think that that they're there for a whole nother reason. The parents think that they're coming there to meet Jamie's boyfriend, and little Jamie thought he was there just to hang out and chill with his sister. So little Jamie gets there first, and then the parents arrive. And so when he sees his parents arrive, he's kind of like confused, like, what the hell is going on here? Because I thought I was just coming over to chill with my sister. But then the parents come in, the grandmother's with them, and he's kind of like, what the hell's going on? So we don't really get to see what happens. That doesn't happen until next week. But I feel like Little Jamie and Big Jamie need therapy. I don't think this is something that Irena can solve. I don't think this is something that Brittany can solve. As much as these women love these men, I don't think they can solve their problems. I think they need therapy because I don't think that they can control Little Jamie's emotion and Big Jamie's anger. I don't think it can be controlled by Brittany or Irena. I think they need professional help if they're going to get to the bottom of their problems. And I feel like the solution would probably be, Big Jamie's just going to have to be a little bit more open-minded. Now, I know it's hard for old school parents to find sensitivity. I know it's really, really hard because you were raised a certain way and that's what you instill in your own children, to be tough, to be manly, you don't show emotion, you just handle your business. You got to, go out. Honey, we get it. But these kids are not they're not like the way we were when we were growing up. It's a completely different generation and they're doing things completely differently because there's so much influence coming to them from the internet. Now, the internet is, I think, a lot more influential than the TV ever was to us because on the TV, it was just TV. We were just watching shows. We're just laughing at, shows, the Jeffersons and Carol Burnett and we were just watching shows. It wasn't like this constant indoctrination. The internet with social media, it is constant indoctrination of pulling these kids every which way of how to be, what to do. It's a lot. It's so powerful. So that's why these kids are a lot different than the way that we were because we were not being influenced like that from anything other than our own family. These kids are being influenced by all kinds of groups and organizations and celebrities and different ways of thinking, different ways of living. It's a lot. It is a lot. So I don't think Big Jamie can do things the way he's always done them. I just don't think so. But anyway, that's just my two cents. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.